I have these moments all steady and strong. I'm feeling so holy and humble. Next thing I know, I'm all worried and weak. Feel myself starting to crumble. The meanings get lost and the teachings get tossed, and you don't know what you're gonna do next. You wait for the sun, but it never quite comes. Some kind of message comes through to you. Some kind of message comes through, and it says to you, love when you can, cry when you have to. It's Laura T. at Dream Deals 123. That's Part of the Plan by Dan Fogelberg, which has a great line in it, someday we'll all understand. And I truly believe that. That's going to be a great day when everybody understands everything. It's impossible to understand now because we're just human beings. Can't understand it. I try, though. I try to understand things. Anyways, gosh, isn't this about eBay? Yes, it is. I made a couple of sales last night, so let's talk about those. How you doing? It has been slow. Stock market's tanking. I don't like the look of that. But what goes up must come down. Always goes up, always goes down. Learn to just not worry about it. But of course I do worry about it. Okay. Worry, worry, worry. My dad was a big worrier. Oh my gosh. He left a legacy of warriors behind him. All of us kids are big warriors too. Area. Why do all these things? I think it's okay. Sometimes I have a funny smell. Area, white with red cardinals, size medium, knit velour, long sleeve nightgown. Whenever I see these nightgown with cardinals on them, if they're at a good price, I always pick them up. I paid $1 for this. I sold it for $11.99 plus shipping. Made about $10 on that. And then this I just listed yesterday, and I took a $20 best offer on it. Today, as I'm doing it, I'm like, I should have. She offered $20 and I took it. I had it at $29.99 originally. It's really cute. It's an Anthropologie Blink London. I probably should have countered back at like 25, but I didn't. Oh well. But isn't that cute? I paid $1 for this. If it was in my size, I keep it. It's an extra large. Anthropologie Blink London top, floral V-neck, viscose, extra large, hippie boho cottage core. They paid $20 plus shipping, and I made about $18 on that. So I made about $28 net and about $43 gross. You know, it's around there. You know, I'm not making a lot on these things, but I'm happy with getting $20 for this that I paid $1 for. All right, this is actually my edited video from yesterday. My editing is a redo. By the time I figure out how to edit something, I might as well just remake the whole thing. Of course, yesterday's was one of my longest ones, but I just said a word. I said something wrong, and it totally threw off like my most important story of the day. So I just decided to redo it. So okay, let me tell the story while it's fresh in my mind. Oh, well, let me tell you about a couple of other things. Yesterday, the power went out in the morning, and I was sitting up front doing some reading and journaling right on the dock, and my neighbor Matt came down, and he asked me if I wanted coffee. He had a way to make coffee. He was firing up his grill and boiling water. Oh, I love coffee. My owl mug from Shirley's World vlog. She had a sale. One of my favorite coffee mugs. It's just big enough so that it's really big. So he brought coffee. You know, I just couldn't ask for a nicer neighbor or neighborhood. So many people have reached out for me. One of the card ladies, when she heard my dad died, sent me a note to go out. I want to go out to lunch, and I am going to go out to lunch with her just when I get done with all my traveling, I think. And just, you know, Matt coming down and giving coffee and stuff, and he knew everything that was going on with the power outage. He's that kind of guy, you know. He probably knows. He's lived here forever. And I asked him if this was what this was, and he said, oh, it's just the breaker thing up near the coffee cup restaurant blew. So, and then it came on a few hours later, so that was nice. Now I want you all to imagine right now that your power is out. Okay, it's not a good feeling, right? We hate it when the power goes out. Okay, now your power's not out. Be happy. We take these things for granted, and then when they go away, we're like, because it was not really hot or anything yesterday, but you know, in the mid 80s, and it would have gotten uncomfortable if this went on for a while. And plus, you know, it's just, we're so connected to technology and everything that it's hard when we don't have power. I can always find stuff to do because I love reading, so that's not a problem. I just don't like not having the air conditioning or the heat or the coffee. So here's what happened. Okay. You know how when you search for something on the computer knows what you're searching for, and then they send you all kinds of stuff like that. Like if you're looking for a throw pillow and you do one search, you're just going to get inundated with throw pillow ads and advertisements. Well, I'm always searching for good movies and TV shows, so I'm always getting recommendations, which is fine. I like recommendations. Give me your recommendations for good TV shows and movies. You know, I'm always on the lookout for one. And so this list of the 100 best comedies comes up. And I'm reading all these comedies, and I'm like, yeah, I've seen that one. That one's good. That one's good. And then the top comedy was one I had never heard of called Mr. Roosevelt. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I've never heard of this. 100% critic score to Rotten Tomatoes, but like a 52% audience score, which usually, I mean, that's probably why I never heard of it. So it sounded like people didn't really like it a lot, but the critics liked it. So I'm watching it, and it's about a cat and this girl who broke up with her boyfriend and left her cat behind, and the cat died. It's not like they don't go into like the cat very much. It's mostly about this dysfunctional girl and relationship and stuff like that. And I didn't really like the characters much. I didn't like, I don't know, it was like many times I was just on the verge of turning it off, but then, you know, you get into it, and it was about a cat, and I do like cats a lot, of course. So I'm watching it towards the end, and at the end, it has, okay, well, now I gotta go back. Okay, we had a cat, an orange and white cat that looked exactly like the cat in this movie, and we named it, when it came from the pound, you know how they have names for it, the name was Huckleberry, which is a great name for a cat, but it didn't jive with us for some reason. And we were homeschooling at the time. I think we were studying Theodore Roosevelt, and we decided to call him Theodore Roosevelt. But over the years, that name became, we started just calling him POTUS, President of the United States, POTUS. So his name was POTUS, so we called him POTUS all the time. Okay, but here's the thing. You know, my husband had that job where he had a top secret security clearance, and one of the things that at his job, they like discouraged lots of social presence. They're like, you know, we're not forbidding you from going on Facebook or social media, but just gotta, you know, the less you're out there, the better. So my husband wanted to get a Facebook, but he decided to not use his real name or his real picture. The name he used was Theodore Roosevelt, and he used a picture of our orange and white cat. So they're doing, on the movie, they're doing this memorial service, and they have a picture of the cat and his name. In the movie, he's Mr. Roosevelt, but in this scene, they are calling him Theodore Roosevelt, and they have a picture, and they're like, rest in peace, you know, you were Theodore Roosevelt. And it just hit me right there that this was the name my husband used. But here's the big thing, okay? That is cool in itself, that I'm watching this movie and his name is there, and there's a memorial service and that sort of thing. But here's the thing. In the morning, when I was doing the dishes, and I was feeling a little bit discouraged, I think, because the power was out and stuff like that. And so, and you know, when stuff like that happened before, my husband was always kind of on top of it. He knew where the flashlights were. He would light the candle. I don't know, you know how in a marriage, one of you kind of does certain stuff, the other person does other stuff. My husband did stuff like that, you know, so really missing that, just part of having that in my life, having a partner. It feels really lonely sometimes, you know, and then my dad dying, and okay, well, wait a minute, I'm getting off again. I don't want to edit this again. I'll talk about all that in a minute. But so I was looking out the window doing the dishes, and I said, and I haven't done this since he died, I've thought about kind of stuff like signs and stuff, but I looked out the window and I looked up at the sky and I said, I need a sign. I need some kind of sign from you. And so then I'm watching that movie that night, and I'm like, this is a sign. How much clearer a sign can I get? It's his name. It's a picture that looks like the picture he used. So I thought that was very good. And now yesterday when I was talking about this, I kept calling the cat Theodore POTUS. And so I was like, just like my husband, Theodore Roosevelt. It was like, didn't make sense. So I had to go back to it. Anyways. So yeah, missing him. You know, and then my dad dying, and I was thinking, just getting into this kind of part of our lives is, there's a lot of really great stuff about it, but it's also like this kind of stuff starts happening, and it's sad. So, but that was a cool sign, I thought. Let's see what else I have here. Okay. Oh, my daughter's friend, when I was talking about this editing, she had a good tip. Now, I didn't realize that I had made this mistake till because I like make these, and then while I'm doing some stuff around here, I re-listen to it just to make sure it's okay. And I'm glad I did it with this one, because that was a pretty big faux pas. But I completely lost my train of thought. So it's gone. Okay. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah, editing tip. So my daughter's friend is here, and I think does a lot of editing, and I was talking about this. She said, okay, oh yeah, I didn't realize that I had misspoke until I rewatched it, because I listen to these while I'm doing stuff, and generally I don't do any editing, but this time I said, well, I gotta edit that. But so I'm talking to her, and she said, now this would work if you know you're making a mistake, like if I said something wrong right now. She said, then give like 3 seconds of silence and then repeat it. Give 3 seconds of silence. Like if I wanted to cut, and then you cut out the bad part, which is easy editing. I can cut stuff out, and you kind of know because you gave that silence. Anyways, I thought that was a good editing tip if you catch yourself. So, all right, well, like and subscribe. I hope you're all doing well. My daughter and granddaughter and husband are back from their trip to the lake, and I can't wait to see them. We're having her 2-year birthday party on Saturday, not here at my daughter's house. She has a little fever, my daughter said, so I'm not going to see her for a couple of days, but I'm very, very looking forward to seeing her again. And Bethany, my daughter, and I are going to go shopping this week for a birthday present. We're going to go to Barnes & Noble. She loves books. Maybe we need to get her a book about becoming a big sister, because my daughter's pregnant again. I just love shopping for my granddaughters so much. Anyways, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.